Good afternoon, everyone. Hunter here, back at Weather on the Go, and in this afternoon update, we'll be talking about a significant snowstorm, the latest on the timing and the snowfall amounts with this system, as well as the severe weather potential on the warm side of the system, especially for Sunday into Monday. We'll time out when you can expect severe weather and the potential for another significant storm into late March. As we round out the month, we'll be diving into all these details in today's weather forecast. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Make sure to sub up with accurate weather forecasts on this channel. We will keep you covered throughout the year. And be sure to press the like button down below. It's the thumbs up button. It truly does help out more than you know. So let's look at our high temperatures expected as of this afternoon. And you can see across portions of the north where we have those colder temperatures, they're down into the 20s and 30s. That's where we have the snow with our clipper system as of this afternoon. But further south, it's more of a spring-like day across portions of the mid-south and down into the deep south. Temperatures into the 50s, 60s, and 70s that far south, even 80s down here into the Rio Grande Valley this afternoon. And as we go through the afternoon, that clipper system that did originate back into southern Alberta, Canada, is now across the central and western Great Lakes, bringing more heavy snow across portions of eastern Iowa, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and over here into central Michigan. As we go into tonight, more rainfall across the southeast, a nice soaking rain for us down here into Virginia, the Carolinas, down across Dixie Alley here and into portions of Florida. That energy will be shifting northeastbound in towards the mid-Atlantic and eventually the northeast, meeting up with the energy from the north, phasing together as we go into Saturday and creating a more substantial snowstorm across especially interior New England. So let's zoom this in and show you there are winter storm warnings in the pink from Maine back through Vermont, New Hampshire, and upstate New York. We have winter storm watches in the blue and winter weather advisories in the purple shaded colors. And then on the warm side of the storm near the coast here of coastal Maine, down through the Boston region, down through New York City and Long Island, getting through New Jersey, down toward Washington, D.C. These areas in the green are for flood watches, where we are gearing up for several inches of accumulating rain. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of what we're seeing here. As we go into Saturday, the cold air is just going to be cold enough for a narrow band, but a potent band of some very heavy wet snow from Maine back through northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and upstate New York. And then we have a transition zone in between there where we still have the shallow layer of cold air near the surface, but warmer air aloft. So that means our temperatures are going to be very critical in seeing any sleet, freezing rain, and with the mixture of this system here. And then we have more of all rain across the I-95 corridor and near the coast there into New England on Saturday. And then that storm system will peel off from west to east as we go into Sunday, leaving us in the wake of this system. Let's look at our total snowfall accumulations. When we're all said and done here, there'll be a narrow stripe from eastern Iowa, southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, getting through central and lower Michigan here. We definitely could be seeing 1 to 3 inches of snow. Now, there will be isolated pockets here, such as northern Illinois, southeastern Wisconsin, and from Milwaukee to Rockford, Illinois, back there toward the just north of the Davenport Quad Cities region in Iowa, that could get a swath of around 6 inches worth of snow going through Sunday morning. And you can see that energy will really pick up as those two systems phase, the energy from the south and the energy from the west phasing across the New England region, especially for interior New England. We'll be talking about widespread 12 to 18 inch snowfall amounts here. Now, some of this may compact and melt as it starts to accumulate on the ground, but we do see the potential for a foot of snow or more in a lot of these areas from Maine back through Vermont, New Hampshire, and upstate New York here. So definitely watching out for that. The snow blowers will be humming this weekend. That is for sure. Now, a little bit more significant is the ice threat as well. So I know the snowfall threat is significant, but ice of 1/4 to 1/2 inch can be significant. So we need to keep an eye on this for coastal Maine, back here toward the Portland region, getting into western and central Massachusetts, down toward the Albany, New York region. And then southern New York State going through Sunday. The freezing rain line will be very critical with this as well. And then the heavy rainfall threat will be significant. If you're near the coast into New York City and Long Island, Boston, Hartford, back into Trenton here, even down toward Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, Philadelphia, a lot of those bigger cities here into the New England region will be feeling the effects, but it's going to be with all rain. We could be seeing 2 to 4 inches of rain with isolated higher amounts than 4 inches as we go through the weekend, and this could be causing some flash flooding concerns. In the yellow, this is a slight risk for flash flooding Saturday, March 23rd into Sunday, March 24th here from Boston down through Hartford there, again into New York City, through New Jersey into the Trenton region, Philadelphia there into portions of Delaware, and then down into portions there of Maryland. Definitely seeing widespread risk of some flash flooding potential. Now we turn our attention back to the west later this weekend, and we have another monster trough that's just going to be starting across the southwestern United States on Sunday, and that's going to be creeping its way eastward ever so slightly into early next week. And look at the ski jump, as I call these ski jump troughs, because these are the troughs you look for severe weather, and we are going to see that next week. But we have cold enough air where we have a significant snowstorm. So let's go into Saturday here. Here's the energy off across the western third of the country. Heavier snows for the Pacific Northwest, and especially those higher elevations, and even the Sierras. Yes, in California, the Sierras getting some heavier snows. The lower elevations near coastal California getting heavier rain. That energy will start to percolate across portions of the north central United States in the form of a significant snowstorm heading into Sunday late this weekend from Montana and Wyoming eastward through the Dakotas, Minnesota, northern Iowa, and into Wisconsin here, where the warm sector of the storm could be producing some severe weather from Kansas southward into Oklahoma and North Texas. And then as we go into Monday, the surface cyclone deepens to a 990 millibar low into western Iowa there near the Omaha region and Sioux Falls. And we see a very heavy deformation snow band on the backside. Minneapolis, St. Paul, back here toward portions of the Rapid City area, perhaps Lincoln, Nebraska, seeing the effects of some wind-driven snow, those tight isobars out there. And then we have a cold front where we'll be watching for severe weather on Monday, one of the bigger days of severe weather as this surface cyclone matures. And then as we go into Tuesday, it'll lift up into southeastern Canada. Ontario and Manitoba will start to see some snow, but still some lingering snow for Minnesota there on Tuesday. Cold front will move across Dixie Alley, could have some lingering isolated scattered severe weather ongoing into Mississippi, Alabama, perhaps as far north as Tennessee on Tuesday. And then finally by the middle of next week on Wednesday the 27th, that system will begin to occlude and move eastward, and we'll say goodbye to that later next week. This system will be one of the bigger systems we have seen in quite some time for March standards, producing some very heavy snow up here into the upper Midwest, the northern high plains here, and even across the Rockies seeing some decent snows through the middle of next week on Wednesday. Let's zoom this in. So this is between Saturday, March 23rd and Wednesday, March 27th. Now this is a few day period of when it's going to snow, but this is some significant snow for late March standards. We're talking around 2 feet. Yes, 2 feet of snow possible in southern and southwestern Minnesota going through the middle of the week, even over a foot here into South Dakota and northern Nebraska here, and even extending over into Wisconsin. So this is a pretty healthy snowstorm that is on the way. And then the rain side, we're going to be seeing more heavy rain across the deep south, Dixie Alley there, the lower Mississippi Valley, widespread 1 to 3 inches of rain for Arkansas into Louisiana and East Texas, getting into Mississippi there, middle and western Tennessee, getting into portions of Alabama and western Georgia through the middle of next week. But let's look at the severe weather side of things here. So as we go into Sunday, there's a slight risk of severe weather along the dry line or cold front of this storm from Kansas down there into west central Oklahoma here around the Wichita region, extending down here into portions of, say, Enid, Oklahoma, into Elk City, into portions there of Oklahoma City, Lawton. Those areas we'll have to keep an eye on that for Sunday. Even a marginal risk extending down into central Texas we will have to watch on Sunday. Then everything shifts east on Monday. We have a slight risk of severe weather into southern Arkansas, East Texas, Louisiana, into Mississippi there, including Jackson, Mississippi, Shreveport, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, getting over there toward the Houston region in Texas. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go into Monday. Let's look at the timing in which these storms could move through. Sunday morning, A-OK, and outside of a stray shower or storm, really not that big of a deal. It's the afternoon. We're going to start to see development take place, initiation off that dry line and cold front, and that will be moving further east as we go into Sunday afternoon. All modes of severe weather will be in play: damaging winds, large hail, and isolated tornadoes, and this will start to form a squall line as it moves further to the east-southeast in towards the better instability axis. So the storm complex will try to turn more to the southeast into the better instability into North Texas and Central Texas Sunday evening, but still seeing some severe weather potential in eastern Kansas and eastern Oklahoma going into Sunday evening. And then as we go into Monday morning, around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Tyler, Texas, down toward Waco, maybe the Houston Metroplex, we'll keep an eye on some large hail producers there Monday morning. And then as we go into Monday afternoon, that will move into Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and then really taking off here into Monday evening. This is concerning here. This model has been consistently showing these semi-discrete supercells developing here from Mississippi and western Alabama, and especially back there into Louisiana for Monday evening. This could be during the daytime because our days are longer, but also after dark as well. And you can see that low-level jet is really going to be cranking here out of the south-southwest Monday evening. So I am concerned, especially centered from eastern portions of Louisiana into Mississippi and western Alabama. Those areas need to be on high alert for some rotating supercells potentially Monday evening. And then as we go into later next week, we skip forward here. A new storm develops further to the west, again doing it all over again, like deja vu. More heavy snow out west, more heavy rain out west near the coast there on Thursday. That shifts east. A weaker storm across the central Great Plains as we go into Friday. Could have some isolated severe weather with that from Nebraska and Missouri down through Kansas and Oklahoma. Really not that big of a deal, I don't think. And then as we go into the following weekend, here comes another one of those ski jump troughs, as I call them, there on Saturday the 30th. And look at this, a positively tilted trough on Sunday the 31st. And this could be another significant trough in which we could see severe weather. So as we go into Saturday, there's that Friday system. That's going to move across the Great Lakes, bringing some miserable weather, maybe some rainfall here, and maybe some low clouds on Saturday across Chicago and Detroit, back over to Indianapolis there into Cincinnati, those areas. But this is the big trough coming in. This is going to have a lot more cold air aloft with it, and that's why it's concerning as it pushes out across the plain states on Sunday. Yes, another snowstorm will be possible here in a very similar track to which we're seeing this weekend and early next week. And this is going to be moving across portions of the northern Rockies, the northern plains, back into the upper Midwest with the heavy snow, but the warm sector, very similar areas again, just like this Sunday. The following Sunday again, the 31st, more severe weather potential here. And looking at this, you can see there's where the heavier snow will be with this system, the 29th through the 4th of April, up across very similar areas to this next snowstorm. So two snowstorms that are pretty significant for the northern U.S. through the end of March, but the severe weather threat on this other one, the 30th of March here, this has a lot of instability to work with, as it looks like now across Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. And then that instability really starts to grow across the middle Missouri Valley on southward there into the southern plains, lower Mississippi Valley on Sunday, March 31st. We'll have to keep an eye on this. This will change 1.5 million times, but we will keep you covered on this because that could be our next opportunity for a severe weather outbreak long term in towards the late portion of March. Thank you guys so much for watching today's weather forecast update this afternoon. A lot of crucial data here, so make sure if you do like these detailed, accurate weather forecasts that you are subbing up, you are subscribing to the channel, liking this video, give it a thumbs up down below. I help out more than you know with getting this weather information here around the clock for you guys, so thank you guys so much for being here. Hope everybody has a great rest of their Friday, and more importantly, a great weekend, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.